I would hope that the European Union, the international players, acknowledge the importance of the programs to our small island states. It is actually extremely essential to the people, to the progress. And if one was to look at the track record over the last 10 years, you would see that it is much more than simply a means of sale of passports, which is what some persons very inaccurately describe it as. So that's one aspect. I'm hopeful that that message gets across to the international players, the importance, the significance of it, and so that it warrants true consideration before any adverse decision is even contemplated. The other aspect is, I think that there is a misconception in the market that may have been driven by persons who are ill-informed about the nature and the purpose of the program. And I say this in the sense that I think that the Caribbean Citizenship by Investment programs is much more valuable than the visa-free access that is promoted. I think that the programs stand on their own value. The islands offer more than mobility. The islands are a safe place to live, great quality of life, stable economic situation, stable political situation, great education systems. Grenada, has a leading U.S. university, a leader in the medical field. So there are so many aspects that we know from being internal players in the citizenship by investment programs in the region, that I think that the value of the programs are not inextricably tied to visa-free access. If visa-free access is removed, it will send a negative message to the market. And so, yes, that makes me concerned. It sends us a message that international players do not necessarily support these very important efforts by the Caribbean islands to be self-sustaining. And so that does concern me. However, I do not believe that it is the end all of the program, because I do not believe that visa-free access is our most valuable aspect. We've all witnessed that the demands are made, the Caribbean reacts, the leaders are doing what they can to allay the fears of our international partners. And we have long-standing diplomatic relations, which of course are worth protecting. But it cannot be endless. The prime ministers have shown an intent and a true will to act together to stabilize these ongoing negotiations. And as recently as last week, there were some very strong statements being made jointly at the Caribbean Investment Summit, and I applaud the efforts of the prime ministers. And the question asked to the room, which included our representatives of the international community, tell us exactly what we need to do that satisfies your requirements. Instead of the constant chasing of, we've done this, is this enough? We've done that, is this enough? And I think that just coming to that realization, please let us have a focused and open discussion on what it is that we can do to allay your concerns, and we do that. And then we move on. Because it has been a tough 2 years, and I think the uncertainty is not good for the market. It's certainly not good from where we stand, and we want to offer our clients greater certainty. At the same time, the politicians are having themselves a tough go at it. So I think that question, what is the final requirement that puts this at rest? The Caribbean already has extremely strong due diligence procedures. Yes, as in any program, you would find that you cannot predict what somebody will do next. So you may grant someone citizenship and something may come to light subsequently. And so in those situations, ongoing due diligence is now a part of the Caribbean program process. So not just due diligence done up front, but continued due diligence on citizens through investment. So, there are safeguards being put in place. And so it's now for the EU, for the US, for our international partners to say, this is enough.